Well, welcome to another adventure and welcome to Leander. Today we're going to do a butchering demonstration for a group called Lead Ag. We're going to find out a bit more about them, but I just wanted to highlight the lovely young couple that own this property called Toby and Georgia. They've actually supplied a fair bit of the footage that you'll see today. They've also got a Facebook page where they'll often put up little reels, little snippets of what life out here is like. So recommend you go check them out. Let's jump in and let's get going. Well, today we're here with Evangeline from Lead Ag. So we've been out here butchering a goat with the crew, but let's find out a bit more. Evangeline, do you want to tell us what is Lead Ag?
Yeah, so Lead Ag is an agricultural immersive week that young people can come along and get a part of it and learn a few new skills. So the acronym Lead Ag actually stands for leading, educating and developing the next generation of the ag workforce. So it's a really great initiative, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And so you have a group of young people?
Yeah.
And they come from where?
Yeah, so a lot of the groups are pretty diverse. We've got a huge reach actually. So we have had students from WA and Tasmania and Victoria all come along before, and you know, most of our cohort comes from Queensland because that's where we're based. But yeah, we do have quite a big reach and we're trying to grow and expand that and get as big as we can, give as many people an opportunity as possible. But yeah.
That's good. Good. And so what do they generally do on over a week?
Yeah, so pretty much they go through an application process where they have to answer a few questions about what are you interested in ag, what brought you to Lead Ag. You know, there's a few tick and flick boxes of do you like working dogs, do you like first aid, do you like cattle, sheep, whatever, a few different things just to get their brain working. And you know, I'll go through that application that they've sent in and just try and pick out a few of the trending points that they've put up that they might be interested in, craft the week around that for these successful applicants. So yeah, this week we're doing a lot of stock work really, and I think it's always a hit to do stock work. Yeah.
So most of the guys here said wanted to work with animals. That's what we really like.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, they all sort of have a pretty broad experience, only just sort of touched a little bit in ag, worked a little bit in ag. If one of them's done a little bit in butchery and meat judging and things like that. So it's been a great session with you this morning to do that. But yeah, no, so it's a great group. It's always good to have a few different personalities, a few different interests so they can really talk to each other and be like, oh, why do you like this? And you know, just have a great conversation.
So they don't need any experience?
No experience. It's we do have a few people in the past who have had experience, who've come off a farm and a property and whatnot and have just said, look, I'm just keen to see what else is out there. I'm mainly cattle or whatever, and you guys are going to go and do sheep or something. So I think that's great. Yeah,
that's good. So at the end of the week, what are you hoping that will have happened in these young people?
Yeah, so for me personally, it's not necessarily about them saying, oh, well, I know I want to go into this. I know I want to be a stock agent. I know I want to do something really specific. It's more about just keeping them thinking about ag as a viable option of a career path. You know, they don't have to know for certain what you want to do. I know when I was in grade 12 and people saying, oh, what are you going to do next year? I hated that question, you know, and I just want people and these young people who are here for the week to just keep it in the back of their mind as, well, I could do something in ag. It's pretty varied out there. There's always opportunities out there, you know.
And because that's true. Like we talked earlier, for those watching at home, this is our second run through. I forgot to push record. But one of the points you made was our world now, there's a lot more jobs that are just sedentary, like people just sitting around inactive. And that's not necessarily only, it's not healthy, but there's also a lot of people not made to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so ag is a very diverse space.
Absolutely, and I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm not really made to, I don't like sitting in an office all day. I want to be outside. But yeah, no, I also want it to help people recognise there's a big stigma about ag, that it's being on a fence line, putting up a fence, 40-degree days, sweating, hot, dehydration, boring, isolated, you know. That's such a stigma that it's not the right narrative, you know. We try really hard out here in the bush to rewrite that narrative, that it's very progressive, especially in the world of ag tech. We're one of the leaders there. But also that the variety of jobs and careers out here is so broad. I mean, yes, you can go and do contracting where you're working outside all day, and that's great. But there is also jobs where you could be a lab technician for a reproduction specialist for bovine and equine and sheep and whatnot, where you're actually in a lab looking in a microscope and doing all those sorts of things, but you're still in the ag space. You know, you're still helping producers every day.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
So what got you involved in lead ag? Why are you doing lead ag and leading it?
Yeah, so I grew up on a property just north of Longreach here, and, you know, sheep and cattle and whatnot, and love ag. I absolutely love ag. But yeah, just seeing as time goes on the lack of a workforce that's coming in, a fresh workforce that's coming into the industry, and people, especially my parents and other producers, really struggling to find a workforce that's committed and wants to stay and wants to learn more. You know, it's quite different to, say, the mining industry where it is FIFO or something like that. Whereas ag, it's you stay for the season sort of a thing. And I think there's a really special group of, well, special generation of young people coming through now that are looking for something a bit different. You know, their parents may work in an office all day and they think, oh, I may not want to do that, you know, and they just don't know a lot about ag and what's out there.
Yeah. And so lead ag gives them that great exposure to be able to actually peek behind the curtain and see all the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Which is great. When I was a little bit younger, I'm not old, but when I was a little bit younger, I really wanted to. When I finished school, I really wanted to be on a property working, and it looked like a great lifestyle. But since then, there has been a bit of a shift to a lot more focus on business, and definitely profit margins have shrunk. So properties have had to actually look different. Is it still a great lifestyle?
Yes. Yeah, without a doubt, it definitely is. You know, it's so social, and there's so many people around. It's a great community, no matter where you are in the rural life. You know, everyone always bands together. And as you say, like profit margins getting smaller and whatnot, I have seen there is quite an increase of people going into off-farm income as well as their on-farm income, you know, just to supplement that. So there is options out there, and, you know, there's opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, because properties are diversifying, and especially with technology, there's some very unique things happening around the place.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very good. Well, Evangeline, thank you very much for taking the time to share with us. And if you want to know more about lead ag, where do you go?
So you can go to the Cherub website, so chrup.org.au, and that's sort of our company website. We're a not-for-profit based in Emerald, and we do a lot of focus on post-mining land use, ag tech, innovation, and lead ag is also one of the initiatives that we do. But we're on Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook, that's good. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
We live in a time where information is king. What I love about lead ag is its practical nature. It gives people an opportunity to actually experience the diverse range of opportunities that the ag industry has to offer. And Toby and Georgia likewise model this attitude of being open and willing to have their property seen on social media so people can see a little bit of what rural life is really like, despite the amount of trolling no doubt they get. I also love Evangelina's heart to pass on the good things she's seen, that she's experienced inside the ag industry, to be able to help the next generation experience that and step into that. And to be honest, my heart is similar. In fact, in the Bible in Acts chapter 4, it talks, the early people of faith say this. They say, we cannot stop telling about everything we have seen and heard. When you have good news, it's hard to keep quiet. And my hope is by watching my videos that you hear the good news that I have seen and that I've experienced. Not in an annoying, hit you over the head kind of way, but authentically and genuinely. My prayer is that I'll be able to point you past man-made religion and rules to an authentic relationship with God, and that is really good news. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.